everyone, my name is Chloe, and welcome to my second half of October wrap-up. So if you cannot tell by this massive stack sitting on my lap, the second half of October was crazy good in the reading department. We read a ton between books I read for myself as well as books I read with my kids. We've just been on a tear, and part of that is because fall is here. So we've had cold, rainy days. Like rainy, cold days were just as numerous in October as sunny days, and so there's kind of not much to do except read. My kids have also asked to start listening to audiobooks in the car, so we listen to a couple that way. And we live in a city, so driving anywhere takes 15 or 20 minutes. So that has been a way, and we've just been on a tear, you guys. Now we've got sick kids, so I'm guessing it's going to kind of continue. But so let's just get into the stats. Now, the stats are going to be all just about my personal reading. Not some of these that I read with my kids, but I will break it down in between to middle grade, young adult, and adult. So if there's one age category you're interested in, I will leave timestamps down below, and I'm going to talk about the books I read with my kids just in case you have young kids, and then we'll get on with my reading. So let's get into the stats. In the second half of October. So I also had to film a little bit early. So this includes like the 15th on, because I think I filmed my last one on like the 14th. But anyway, I read 18 books and had 3 DNFs. I read 5,242 pages, which is 308 pages per day. 291 pages was the average length of my books. And you'll see why. I read a fair amount of middle grade myself. So, yeah, I read 1.06 books a day and 11 novels, 6 graphic novels. You guys, 6 graphic novels and 1 devotional that we finished. And 9 were adult, 1 was young adult, and 8 were middle grade. So this is just my reading for myself. I've really been on a middle grade graphic novel tear, and I don't know why, but it's working for me. So I'm going to keep it going. I read 6 off my shelves and 12 from somewhere else, so not what I want to see. 9 were from Libby, 6 were from the library, 1 was from Kindle, 1 was from NetGalley, and 1 was just directly off my shelf. So only 1 I primarily read physically off my shelf. Otherwise, I was reading them from other places, so yikes. I read 7 on audio, 7 on paperback, and 4 ebooks, which you guys know ebook is not my favorite way, but I kind of got into a string of enjoying it. So, yeah, 7, 7, and 4. And then 9 new release and 9 backlist. So evenly split there. As far as genre goes, I read 7 contemporary, 4 sci-fi fantasies, and you guys will have seen at this point, you will have seen a vlog of trying fantasy. So I will have that link down below. But 3 women's fiction, 2 romance, and 2 nonfiction. So as far as star ratings go, like I said, I had 3 DNFs, 2 3 stars, 5 3.5 stars, 9 4 stars, 1 4.5, and 1 5 star. So it's actually been a really good second half of the month. The average is 3.83, which is stellar for me. So let's just get into the book. These books, like I said, are the first bunch are going to be ones that I read with my kids in case you're interested in reading them with your kids. All of these are ones we've done as read alouds. My 5-year-old is now able to read independently, so I'm not going to talk about any of those books unless you guys really want to see what she's reading, but let's just get into it. So first we have Nate the Great and the Halloween Hunt. These are really fun, really short Nate the Great books. If you guys haven't read it, you should. They're fun books, and they have some fun Halloween facts. So we read that. Then we read numbers 2 through 5 in the Boxcar Children. So these are ones we read. Let's see, Surprise Island, the Yellow House Mystery, Mystery Ranch, and Mike's Mystery. So as you can probably tell, these are all middle grade classics. They are light mysteries following 4 children that I didn't know. I never read this as a kid, and so I didn't realize that they didn't stay in the boxcar. Like they were only in the boxcar in the first book, and these are all just different mysteries. These are set, I mean, these were all, gosh, in the 40s maybe. I can't remember when they were written, but I don't love the rest of the series as much as I love the first one, just because it's a little outlandish, a little a little sign of its times. It's just, they're all right. We're listening to those on audio because the entire 160 books or whatever is on Hoopla audio. So if you're interested, there's that. But I only get 5 Hoopla listens. And so we listened, and I used one for myself, heaven forbid. So we only listened to 4 of those, I think. And then we were done. So I don't know if we'll go back to them, but maybe. Next, we read one of our favorite series, which is Amy is a Little Bit Chicken, which is the Critter Club number, 12 maybe, I don't know, 13, I don't know. This is about Amy, one of the girls, and she's facing some fears, and I just love this series. And this one is, there's, like, my daughter could very easily read these on her own. There's a lot of big pictures. We can read these in like 30 minutes, and we just really, really enjoy this series. And I think there's like 22, so we have a few left, and yeah, really enjoy it. Next is a new series, Rainbow Magic, and this is the Rainbow Fairies, Ruby Red Fairy. Basically, all of the color got taken. They're all different colored fairies. I know there's like multiple spinoffs of this. We were gifted a bunch of these from like different spinoffs, and so we have mix and match. Each color has its own book, and this one was just fine. I don't like, none of us are like itching to pick it up again, but it was still good to read. Next is Princess in Black and the Bathtime Battle. This is by Shannon and Dean Hale, and I picked these up because I've been reading a lot of graphic novels by Shannon Hale, and this is a series she wrote with her husband, and I honestly don't really love these. My daughter, I think, likes them more than I do, and she could definitely read them herself, so I think that's what we'll do from now on, but they are trying to clean a dirty monster, and I mean, gosh, the parallels, I get it. Next is Crimson Twill, Witch in the City. So obviously we were trying to read some Halloween stuff. This is not good. I would not recommend this. This is about a girl named Crimson Twill. Her and her mom go to this big mall for Halloween, and it's like every floor is kind of a different thing, and there's like a contest. I don't know. The writing style was so dull. It was a trudge to get through, and it's tiny. So definitely don't recommend. Next is a series that we love, and I kind of discovered it on an off chance. So Lizzie Faye from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, Elizabeth, she sent us a long time ago when my oldest daughter was like 2. She sent us a Mercy Watson book by Kate DiCamillo, and we loved it. And so we have all the Mercy Watson books, but they have a spin-off series called Tales from Deckawoo Drive, and Deckawoo Drive is where Mercy Watson lives. Mercy Watson is a pig who is a domesticated pig, and so these are just all the other people that live on that street. So Eugenia Lincoln in The Unexpected Package, she gets a mysterious accordion sent to her, and she's very against it. Eugenia Lincoln is very grouchy, and so there's that. Then we have Francine, and I don't know how to say her last name, and so I let my daughter pick, and she said Powlett. So Francine Powlett meets the ghost raccoon. She is an animal control specialist and has never been scared of anything until this raccoon kind of spooks her. Then Stella Endicott in the Anything is Possible poem. So she has to write a poem. She gets in some trouble with a friend, and they're heading to the dreaded principal's office, and she kind of realizes anything is possible, and she's braver than she thinks. So these are all by Kate DiCamillo. If you haven't read her stuff, she's a very prolific and very, very good middle grade author, and we love these books. You don't have to read them in order. That was like number 2, 4, and 5 or something. You don't have to read them in order at all. They're all different characters, so no big deal. Next is one I don't have physically, and it's She Persists by, it's about Simone Biles by Chelsea Clinton and Kikla Magoon. And now this, I think, is a new series of chapter books all about females who have persisted through hardships to become what they have become, and it's all about Simone Biles. And my girls are both gymnasts. They both love gymnastics, and so hearing Simone Biles' story was like, I mean, we were all telling my husband different facts about Simone Biles that we didn't know, and one of which is she's like 4'8" or something. Like, she is very, very, very small. And it was just interesting to learn more about her and all that she had to overcome to be where she is. And it was just inspiring and great. I will like definitely continue to read that series. And I think that one just came out in October. So, that's a new one. Next we have, The Whale, which is, the Lighthouse family number 2, 3, I can't remember, but this is about a family that lives in this lighthouse. It started as just a cat, and then a dog. His ship got wrecked. And so he stayed with her like to get healthy. And so then they became kind of like a family. And then they found these 3 little mice. And so the Lighthouse family goes to help a whale who gets separated from his mom. And it's so cute. I really love these series. And this is by Cynthia Rylant, who has written a lot of other things as well. Next is The Haunted Library by Dory Hillstead Butler. This is a fun it's the start of a series too about this little boy. He is a ghost and he gets separated from his family because they get like sucked out of their haunting where they live. And so he gets separated from his family and ends up in this library. And there's another ghost there, but maybe even a third ghost that they don't know about. And so he works with this little girl to try to figure out what's going on in this library. And it's just so funny. He is definitely like this little cinnamon roll kid, just very scared of everything and very cute. Next is Home is Where the Heart Is, which is the first in the Good Dog series. This is really cute too. This is the first in a series about this dog who he loses his collar, and he goes to all his animal friends. He lives on a farm and he's trying to find his collar, and he's like trying to resist jumping in mud because he already did that once and got kind of in trouble. And it's just so cute. So cute. Definitely really wholesome. Really liking these books. Next is another classic, Sarah Plain and Tall, by Patricia McLaughlin. And she, like, her writing style, I mean, she's another old school author. This is a classic for a reason. And her writing style is not my favorite. She wrote the prequel to the Boxcar Children that we read and I did not like. And this one we listened to on audio and I really enjoyed that. This is definitely the starter book to a series though, because it is about this family. The mother dies, and so the father sends for a wife and mother, and it's he gets a response from this woman named Sarah. She's plain, she's tall, she comes and she is very like non-conventional. She is kind of a tomboy, all that, and so it's very much the starter. Like, we just see her come, and she used to live by the sea, and now she's kind of landlocked, and so the kids are scared she's going to leave. But at the end, it's sweet. She's just, she kind of shows her allegiance, and so the rest of the series will continue with Sarah in their life. So it was fine. It was good. The writing style is just kind of dry. Next is Dory Phantasmagorie and the Real True Friend. So this is about this little girl. Dory Phantasmagorie is this series about this little girl who has an imaginary friend. And now I don't know, she went to kindergarten or first grade or whatever. She's in school, and her brother and sister are so mean to her. Like, I don't love that at all about this, because they're so mean to her. And she finally makes a real true human friend, and they don't really believe her. And so this is her proving she has a real friend. Next is Invisible Inkling, Dangerous Pumpkins. This is a series that we just picked up this one because it seemed Halloween-y. And this one it's crass, it's crude. This is one of our DNFs. I did not like it and don't think it's appropriate for kids. So that's all the books that I read with my kids. Now, let's talk about the middle grade graphic novels that I read for myself because, like I said, kind of been on a tear. We've got Friends Forever by Shannon Hale. This is a part of her Friends series. This is the most recent one. It just follows a group of kids. This is 8th grade. Again, trying to figure out some 8th grade stuff. And I really enjoy her art style. I enjoy all of this. There's not a ton of words on the page, and so these go really, really, really quickly. I love these books and would highly recommend. So then I was like, all right, well, I know I love Raina Telgemeier, so let's go do some of those. So read Guts, which is about anxiety and stomach issues that come with that, and her fear of vomit, which, I definitely could relate to this. And she's in like 6th or 7th grade. I don't know. She's somewhere in that middle grade. So it's just interesting because this was never I never had words for it when I was a kid, but I can relate so hard to this. So loved this. This is a part of her Smile series. Somewhere in there, I don't know which number, but so this is very autobiographical memoir of hers. Same with Sisters, which I had read this before. This is actually a reread. This is about her and her sister, and they are going on a road trip with their mom, and and her brother, but her and her sister are really close, and her brother's a little bit younger, and they don't really realize that they're kind of, the mom and dad are working through some marital issues, and so there's a lot going on in this book. Again, a memoir that just feels very relatable. And then last by her is Drama, which this one is not autobiographical. It is about a group of kids putting on a play and somebody who kind of works behind stage and, just totally the drama world, which is not my thing. I was never into drama, but yeah, this one is not autobiographical, and it was a little bit because I don't care that much about drama, because it wasn't her specifically, it was not my favorite, but it still has great writing great art, great writing. I really enjoyed it still, and will highly recommend anything by Rena Telgemeier. So then, this one's been advertised a lot lately around our libraries, and this is Talia's Codebook for Mathletes, and this is about a girl who is a mathlete, and she's got a best friend who's a boy, and now they're entering into middle school, and he's kind of saying, hey, I can't be your friend anymore because I get made fun of for that, and she joins the team of mathletes, and she's the only female, and so she takes it upon herself to start a female mathlete group, and I loved that. I loved the emphasis on following your passion, because she has some really good girlfriends that she's trying to recruit, and they're like, no, that's not my thing, and really just being yourself, and then thinking about big picture, what's the point of things, because then the boy and the girls kind of have a rivalry, and is that the best thing? I don't know. I thought this was really good. This definitely has more words on the page, and so this one might take you a little bit longer, but I enjoyed this one as well. And last for the middle grade graphic novels is Surprisingly Sarah. And this is by, let's see, what's her name? Liebenson, but the sticker is covering it. I can't remember. Terry Liebenson, I think. And this is a part of the Emmy and Friends series, and I've really enjoyed all of these, and this one was no different. This is, again, about a girl named Sarah, and she's somewhere in that middle school age, and she has this best friend who's a boy, and he goes to a private school. She goes to the public school with his best friend. She has a crush on the best friend, and there's a dance coming up, and so this book is told in alternating timelines of if she would have asked him to the dance. In one situation, she asked this best friend to the dance, and that storyline is told from her perspective, what happened. And then if she didn't ask him to the dance, and that is told from her best friend's perspective. And it's kind of interesting to see what happens in both circumstances, regardless what happens and how things end up. And it was just really good. These are really thick books, but definitely worth it. And they're middle grade graphic novels. Again, his sections did not have very much writing, whereas hers had a little bit more. So, again, quick read, definitely recommend. And then the devotional that we read was the Laugh and Learn Bible for Kids. And this is by Phil Vischer, which is the creator of VeggieTales. And we loved this. This was I would say, it's 52 stories that tell the Bible. It's not just Bible stories. It is actual, the actual context of what happened, and not just the most popular stories, I guess. And so it's got these sections. They're all 2 or 3 pages, and then there is either an everyday truth or something that's maybe a little confusing. Sometimes it's called tricky bits. Something to talk to your kid about, and then a prayer. And we loved this. This is maybe one of our favorite things that we've been through. Highly recommend this one. So that's it for the middle grade. Whew, you guys, I'm exhausted. But let's get into the YA and adult. Okay, so I read one YA, and it is Camp Sylvania by Julie Murphy, and this is one that I read for that fantasy vlog, and so this is about a group of girls that go to a camp. This actually might be more middle grade. I don't know. This actually, I think, is middle grade. Anyway, but it's about this girl that goes to a camp. She is planning to go to this drama camp that she wants to with her best friend, and at the last minute, her mom's like, actually, you're going to go to this wellness camp, and the camp is actually run by vampires, so there's that. It was cute. Okay, and then so for the adult, the first one I read is After Happily Ever After, and this is about a 45-year-old woman-ish who's kind of in a midlife crisis. Her kids are grown, her husband and she have really drifted apart. Her dad has some health issues. Her mom's kind of wrapped up in that. Her brother's a jerk, all that kind of stuff. So she's kind of having this midlife crisis of what am I? Who am I anymore? And so she starts going to the gym. She meets this guy. And while I definitely don't co-sign a lot of her interactions and things that happened with her. I think a lot of the complaints about this book are that she's an annoying main character, and I don't really think she's annoying. Like I said, I wasn't on board with everything she did, but I enjoyed this book. However, I read this maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and I am barely remembering details about it. So I gave it 3.5 stars, and I would say that's probably about accurate. It's good, not great. Next, I read Forever With You by Barb Curtis. Actually, I didn't read this one. This is one I DNF'd. This is an enemies to lovers romance that I just wasn't drawn into it. That's not my favorite trope. I don't love romance in general right now, so I DNF'd that. Next is The Amish Midwife's Hope by Barbara Cameron, and I really enjoyed this one. This is a Hearts and Lancaster County novel, and this is the first one in that. This is about a midwife who is kind of taken in by this man and his daughter, and it's a sweet story, wholesome, cute. I like Amish books every now and again. I love how wholesome they are, and just how, I enjoyed this one. 3.5 stars. Nothing exceptional, but great. This is Slightly Soft and Simple by Christy Woodson Harvey. I think I've talked about this before, but I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. This is about 3 sisters who are coming back together, and their mother, and all their different stories, all their different hardships. This is like one of my favorite favorite kind of books, and so I really enjoyed this a lot, and definitely want to continue the series, because I think the next sisters book is the one I really kind of identified with the most. And so I'm if you've got the second book in this or know where to find it, let me know, because I really want a copy. Next is, Bright Lights Big Christmas by Mary Kay Andrews. So this one is about this woman who, she and her brother go to New York City. They live in like the Carolinas or somewhere, and they have a Christmas tree farm. They take them to New York City, and they live in this camper, and they sell their Christmas trees. And it's her interactions with everybody in the neighborhood, a little romance with, again, a single dad. I really liked it, and I would give it 4 stars. Especially, I gave it 4 stars, but if you like the New York Christmas vibes, I would say definitely pick this one up. Next is I Used to Be Fun by Melanie Summers. Again, kind of with the who am I now? Lost in mommyhood. And guys, I can relate. I used to be fun, and I'm not anymore. And so just kind of thinking about that, I gave it 4 stars. Again, not one I'm going to remember forever, but one I definitely saw myself in. Next is The Courage to Be Disliked. And the subtext or whatever is how to free yourself, change your life, and achieve real happiness. And this one says it's I know it's written by Japanese authors, and it says something about Japanese phenomenon. Well, this is all based on an Adlerian principles, and Adler was a psychologist, a white guy in the 1900s, and so I don't really know what this does, but I DNF'd this about a quarter of the way through because I just could not get on with the writing style. It's very dry, and I almost felt like it was a little victim blamey, and I did not like this at all. So it's super popular. I don't think I'm in the I don't think I'm in the majority with my opinion, but it just was not for me. I just couldn't jive with it. The book is also told as a conversation between a young person and a philosopher, and it just didn't work for me, you guys. It was confusing. It didn't work. I didn't like it. Next, we have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and I gave this one 3 stars. I read this as a part of my Trying Fantasy vlog, so I will link that down below, but basically I thought this was fine. It's about 2 people who, it's kind of a you've got mail situation. She doesn't know that they're communicating through this magical typewriter, but they are rivals in their newspaper job, and then they are front lines of a war against the gods, and so it's a romance there. I enjoyed it, but 3 stars. Next is You Again by Kate Goldbeck, and this is this month's book, or last month's book of the month pick, obviously. This is just too dang long. This is a 3-star romance for me. I really like the premise. It's kind of the When Harry Met Sally, can a guy and girl just be friends? And it's just too long. So this couple meets at one point in life, then they meet again later, and they're both really down on their luck. They start a friendship that obviously turns into more. There's way more steam in this than I enjoy, and it's just too dang long. I lost interest for sure, and I wouldn't really recommend this one. Next is The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, and I would recommend this one. This one is another in that fantasy vlog. So again, I will try not to talk too long because I know this video is getting long. But this one is basically Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but make it bookish. There's this author who lives on this fantastical island called Clock Island, and everything is kind of based on where it is. So there's like 5 o'clock beach, but based on where it is on the island. And he has written a new book for the first time in years and years and years. And he gives away tickets to, or he's giving away the possibility to come compete for this one copy of the book, this new book that's really sought after. So we follow our main character who's been a longtime fan and has a connection to this guy. And it's magical. It's fun. It's so good. 4 stars. Next is In the Shadow Garden by Liz Parker, and this is about a family of women, very practical magic-esque, a family of women who have the power to take negative emotions from people, and then they use that negative emotions, plant it in their garden, and it helps their garden grow. And there's a kind of rivalry family on the island or whatever that runs the brewery and or distillery. And they have used the corn from this garden to make their bourbon. And so once a year you get the chance to drink the bourbon and forget something. Well, there's a whole summer that the town forgot, and we're figuring out why. There's a lot of connections between families, a lot of family drama. Yeah, this was cute. I gave it 4 stars. Well, it was good for the vibes, 4 stars. And then last is The Life Council, 10 Friends Every Woman Needs by Laura Tremaine. And this one is about saying, like, you need 10 different types of friends. You can't expect one person to fulfill all these roles, and it's okay that people fit in different spots. And as an extrovert, I could definitely relate to this and love that. But, like, even as an extrovert, I'm in the throes of young motherhood, and so I don't have all 10 of these spots filled. And you know, it almost kind of made me feel lonely. And as somebody who is introverted, who I could guarantee wouldn't have the desire for this many friends, like, she is just kind of name dropping all these people that she's so close with. And it almost kind of made me feel like, oh gosh, do I not have enough friends? And so I really like the idea of it, but the execution was meh. So 3.5 stars on that. So that is everything. Now I'm about to rush my daughter to her first basketball game, so I'm going to let you go here. But thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you've read any of the books I read, and we'll see you in the next one.